that won't work because I didn't put any sound on. Duh. Welcome everybody to Helloran Rising, episode 3 of Damage Does D&D. We will start with what happened last time. So, while gathering for breakfast, you learnt that Gilus has not returned from his herb gathering mission from this morning, and Mara asks you to find him. He left through the northern gate and should have been back well over an hour ago, she tells you. Heading north, you exit through the gate and see Gilus on the floor with what looks like a wandering Gus Tabaxi standing between him and some desperate-looking bandits. Approaching the bandits, weapons are drawn and a fight ensues, killing 3 of them. The leader is restrained by Miet and intimidated by Trelador and Melissa. Melissa has a bit of a pep talk with the bandit and gives him 3 gold and tells him to go into Kleinwater, get himself cleaned up and get a job. Gus and Yorick help Gilus back to town, and Mara gives you 10 gold and says you can stay here for as long as you like for free. Melissa gives her 3 gold back and distributes 6 gold amongst yourselves. Whilst eating a much appreciated breakfast, the tavern starts to empty and eventually it's just yourselves talking and deciding what to do, when there is a loud thunderclap and an elf appears out of nowhere and crashes through a table onto the floor. Investigating, you find a very dead elf. Celeste recognises as Deravale, the right-hand man of somebody she knows very well. On him you find 50 of those gold discs that she had, a jewelled dagger, and a letter which stated he was to bring back Celeste. Beat her if needed, but don't damage her face, but bring her back at all costs. Melissa assured Celeste that she and Florian would defend her from any others sent to retrieve her. Miet declared that the smell of the elf was from the dark evil things, but didn't elaborate any further. Meanwhile, Florian asked Mara what they should do with the body, and she suggested telling the Undertakers and letting them deal with it. The Undertakers were summoned, and they did indeed deal with the body, but whilst asking about relatives and next of kin, etc., got answers from Miet, who they desperately tried to avoid talking to. Miet, unseen, pocketed the dagger and the discs. As Guylan and Mara started to ready for the inn for lunch, you all decided to go out in the city in search of employment. Walking through the city, you come across the trading post, a sort of labour exchange where people with jobs wait for people who need work. Miet starts to play her flute, but the instrument has clearly been damaged as the noise that comes out of it is awful. Melissa and the others go inside and see there are only 2 hiring doors open. One leading to a very overweight trader type, dripping with rings and trinkets and very richly dressed. The other leading to 2 somberly dressed tieflings. Melissa outlines her thoughts on which one to choose, the big fella, and, with the agreement of the others, walks towards him. That's where we'll pick it up. Are you all going in? Snow, you're still out seeking the a ruby exchange for money. Miet, you're, I believe, still outside in the street. The rest of you went in the building. Who is going into the room with Melissa? Everyone?
I definitely will be.
I'm mostly going to observe.
What about the dwarves?
I'd normally say I'll do what Gus does, but I'll have to make the decision, won't I?
Yes,
yeah,
afraid so.
we'll follow him.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Just as you mentioned.
No, I think we'll follow the group.
Okay.
Hello, La.
Hello. Welcome in, Gus. We've done our recap, I'm afraid, and we're just starting. You are following Melissa and the rest of the group into the room where this gentleman is sitting.
Full house for the first time.
Yeah, indeed. Everybody playing for the first time. Yay, celebration. So, as you walk in...
I'm going to leave my camera off for a few minutes. I've still got to eat my dinner. And I'm sure you don't want to eat See, watch me munching.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you walk through the door, the last person in, and the gentleman looks up at you and says, well, do shut the door, won't you?
Y'all looking for people to do some work for you?
Shut the door, please.
I'll slam the door shut.
Thank you so much. So, yes, glad you came in. So, this is your party, is it? Marvellous.
I don't know who's walked in with us.
It's yourself, Florian, sneezing. So yourself.
Everyone but the tabaxi.
Everyone apart from the two
Everyone but
tabaxi
the
and... Yeah, that's it. Everyone apart from the two tabaxi. So... this is your party. Okay, so I have an item, and he picks a box off the floor. It's about yay big. Puts it on the table. Says, this item I need to be taken to Giffield, but I do not want it to go by river. That's the job.
A matter interesting situation.
Indeed. Would you want to know some more about this, or is this something you could do?
I mean, Giffield ain't
Picks
far.
another one of the little sweet treats up. Do help yourselves to the treats.
I'm good, thank you, honey.
So
So what's in this this here box?
you don't need to know what's in it. It is protected. The contents of the box. You will not be allowed to open it. It must get to its destination intact. It will give you 20 gold up front and a further 80 gold will be payable to you on delivery. Those are the terms.
Seems interesting.
It's entirely
Why so uninterested in us knowing what's in the box?
well, it's none of your business. You're merely couriering an item to a friend of mine. Feel free to leave if you don't want the job. But I suspect that as you're in here in the first place, you probably need some money, right?
Where are we delivering to?
You're delivering it to Giffield, the Crimson Chain Inn in the eastern ward of the city. You will...
I wonder where Giffield is.
It's to the east.
East.
It's
Yeah.
the next city along.
Yeah.
If you go to the Crimson Chain Inn in the eastern ward of the city, Eckermon the Silent will pay you the balance upon delivery if it is untampered with.
And why can't we take the river?
Because the contents of the box would react very badly if it was dropped into water. That's all you need to know.
Matter interesting?
Doesn't need to be interesting at all. Just needs to get to Eckermon. That's all.
I'll kind of look over at Florian and also at Trellador to see what they're thinking.
I'll just shrug.
I'll kind of give the it is interesting. We need money and the group, so it'd be like
Feel
a
free to go and talk
nod.
amongst yourselves if you wish.
Yeah, I think we will do that.
Very
Be
well.
back. We're interested.
And I'll stand up and step out of the room.
As you stand up, he moves the box back onto the floor beside him.
How big is the box?
Box is about yay big, about that high.
So about a foot wide and about a half foot.
Yeah, roughly.
I'll follow Melissa out with everyone else if they'll even just have a chat.
Okay.
Yeah, just following.
So you get out and you see him. He's just eating these little sweetmeats.
So you're trying to tell me that people will pay you money to carry a box from one house to another house? Is that right?
Yeah, but you gotta be careful about what you're delivering. Never know what's inside that box.
Well,
Might
it's
not be
not
good.
opened, it doesn't matter, does it? 'Cause it's not getting out.
Gonna be
And-
opened.
Just a little bit like the inn as well, Gus. Maybe not talk about this so loudly out in public.
Oh, I thought we were outside. Sorry.
Oh, no, we are outside. We are outside.
You've moved out of the room and into the main hallway.
I'm going to poke my head out the front to see if Snow has arrived.
Indeed, out the front. Snow, you are concluded your business. How many rubies did you have? Was it just the one?
They wanted me to do just the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one.
So roll me a D100, please.
Okay. Christ. There we go. 67.
67. Okay. You managed to recall a contact of your uncle's that you used to deal with many years ago, when you were very small, and you find his shop, introduce yourself, and he remembers you, and you get a fairly good deal. You get 115 gold for the ruby.
Okay.
So as you are walking back,
And I would have sort of put the pouch up near my daggers, sort of within the scarf.
sure. Okay. So as you're walking back, you can see your route as you would come back would pass the trading post anyway, and you can see a wandering Gust's tabaxi sitting on the floor repairing a flute. And you can also see Melissa's head poking out of the trading post.
I'd make a beeline and sort of take a bit of a wider berth around than would be normal, but sort of head in.
Okay, so Mieta,
fairly quick.
you see this rather dashing treading waters tabaxi sort of curve round you to go up the steps to the trading post. And Melissa, you see Snow do this as well.
Y'all alright, Snow?
Yes, managed to sort out the piece of business for Gus and Yorick.
Little guys in here. Was hoping to discuss some stuff with you. Actually, about doing some work. Not sure what you think about it.
So I'd head inside.
You've seen this building before. You've been here before. This is the trading post. It's basically a large room full of offices style things, that doors that can be closed, so you've got private meetings. You've been here before to arrange contracts for your family boat. You know how it works.
Yeah. So I pull Yorick and Gus to one side, and then in Dwarvish I'd just give them the we sorted a little piece of business for you. This should be enough for now.
Oh, thank you. What was it worth then?
He'd sort of lean down right next to Gus. He said, 115.
Is that good? I don't know.
Fairly deep.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, that should give you some decent money for a while.
Thank you.
It's fine. I had an old contact, my uncle's in the town who deals in gems sometimes.
So, looking about here, Snow, you can see the two doors that are currently open. One has a person you know you've seen before. I don't think you've ever dealt with him before, but you do know of him. He's known as the Fat Man.
Mhm.
Fairly obvious nickname. And in the other open doorway, you can see two tieflings that you don't know.
Okay. Would I know the reputation of the fat man?
You do, yeah. Make a quick history check.
Oh, that's actually not bad. 20.
20, yeah. The Fat Man is known for being a tricky customer. He pushes a hard deal. He's generally honest. He certainly has never been caught out by the Tabaxi as having broken a trade deal.
Okay.
He always keeps his word, and he always writes fairly straightforward contracts.
Okay.
But he negotiates hard.
So he's never fallen foul of.
He has never fallen foul of the Tabaxi.
Okay.
Sorry, of the Treading Waters Tabaxi. I do apologise.
Yeah. So, what did
Just
you
been discussing some job opportunities. Went in and spoke with that.
the fat man?
Well, I wasn't going to say it like that, but
That is how he is known.
oh, all right then. Yeah, just speaking with him, I find it mighty suspicious that he's wanting us to transport some kind of box over land rather than by water. He says it's because the water will get in to the box and make it do something nasty, but I ain't so certain about
That
that.
struck me as odd that he wants it to go by land.
It's very rare, but sometimes some things need to be avoiding the water. But it's very, very rare that something will be considered too dangerous to go by water.
Is there anything I could think of that might fit in that box that would not want to go near water, that might be considered something wanting to be traded?
I don't know, is there? You tell me. Is there something that you think that Celeste would...
I was wondering if it would, in a box like that, would it possibly be some kind of potion or elixir, maybe? Or would it be something a bit more solid?
I mean, it could be. Without further inspection of the box, it'd be very difficult for you to work out what's in it.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything that might strike her as something that might be traded.
I mean, not really. I mean, you've never heard of... Where you're from, the trade doesn't happen on the rivers, so you don't really understand the gravity of it not going by river. To you, this is just a normal take a box over there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, he has a reputation of being a bit of a tricky customer, but he's never fallen foul of the Treading Waters before. It's very rare for anything to go by land, but not unheard of.
Fair enough. It's just heading to Giffield. Ain't that far. I just wanted to make sure it's all above board. Well, I thought I'd check in with you.
Well, without knowing what is in the package, we don't know whether it's above board, but like I said, he's a bit of a tricky customer and pushes a hard deal, but he's never fallen foul of my client.
Only offering 100 gold. Ain't that much.
That seems a bit cheap for an overland delivery.
That was exactly what I was thinking. Have a bit of a chat and see what see how high we can go.
I don't really know how far away these places are. How long would it take us to get to this gift field?
I'd know the distance by water, but
Yeah, I mean, you don't know by land. By water, it would take you a couple of days, 3 days.
2 or 3 days by water. I've never made that journey overland.
The one person that would probably know is sitting outside in the street trying to repair her flute.
So I imagine if it takes 2 to 3 days by water, it's going to take longer than that by, especially with the no roads.
Not necessarily. I mean, the rivers are winding, so it may be short, it may be long. I just don't know. I've never done the journey.
Well, it certainly don't sound too bad.
Would this be
Just-
taking us further? Would this be taking us further away from the mountains?
A little bit, yes.
Giffield's further out east.
I don't even want to be this far from them, let alone go further.
Can I just ask what it is exactly you're doing here if you don't want to leave your mountain? I know you're making a lot of notes, but other than that,
I don't know, Gus. What are we doing here?
They're exploring.
Gus?
Gus, this is your line.
I think Gus may be eating.
Page 4 of the script.
It is well scripted. Oh no, we've lost him completely. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Wait, you guys were on page 4, I was on page 5.
You're so funny.
Line?
So, Miet, at this point, you make me a survival check, please. And he's back.
$15.
15. You've managed to work out what's wrong with your flute. It's got a large crack along the base. So you're like, can probably repair it given some time and some materials. You don't think you've got anything on you that you could use, but you know, once you get out of the countryside, you might be able to find some bits of wood, or perhaps you could make a new one. Who knows? But this one, a bit of a loss, really. And you've also noticed that people are, as ever, avoiding you. You're sat on the steps of the trading post. There's people coming in and out, but they're all making a sort of wide berth around you. Nobody's been outright hostile yet, but you're getting a few looks.
I'm glad this character isn't more of a bitch yet, because otherwise she'd be trying to make life difficult for people and sitting as close to the centre of the door as she could. But as it is, since I am getting these looks, I will pack away the flute again and just go up to the door and kind of see how the group is going inside, if they're any closer to making a decision.
Well, it looks like they're having a discussion. Make a perception check for me.
15 again.
15 again. You don't catch the whole conversation, but some of the words are about overland and Giffield and how far, and so they seem to be discussing. I mean, you know that walking pace or caravan pace probably take you about 4 or 5 days, depending on terrain, etc. But generally about 4 or 5 days to get to the outskirts of Giffield from here.
Just out of curiosity, So can I see the tieflings from the door?
Yes, with a 15, yeah, you can. You can see the two tieflings, somberly dressed.
Just, nosy.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Testing.
Yeah, well,
Yay, James is back.
yeah.
Hello.
So,
Right, well,
before you
No?
disappeared, I believe you were being asked a question by Yorick, who was
We're
concerned.
exploring. That's what we're doing, Yorick. Remember? I'm taking copious notes.
Right. Okay.
But if we go east, if I remember my compassing, then the mountains are north from here. So if we go east, we're not going to go further away. We're just going to go sideways.
I think, aren't we sort of
You're
East
already
of the
east of the
East of
mountains,
the
yeah.
mountains.
So,
That doesn't match with my brain.
No, I think it will be taking us much further away.
Well, a little bit here, a little bit there. It doesn't really matter, does it? How far away we are? We're just away. But we got to explore. And we got to get all this information to take back with us.
When are we going to go back, though?
Well,
Soon.
if I keep you happy, honey, you can be sure you'll be safe with us.
I
You
know
stick
I'll
with
be
Snow,
safe.
he'll keep you safe. All
I
right.
know I'll be safe. Me and him, we've been through loads. We'll be all right, but all right.
I mean, if you're worried about everything involving me, I of course will leave, and I don't want to bring any unnecessary trouble to you.
No one's worried about you.
We'll explain that in a bit, Snow. Let's get this job started.
Right.
Me and you head in there, negotiate price.
Yes, well, the one small point about that, don't call him the fat man to his face. Please.
I wasn't intending to.
That may not be what the reaction you like.
okay, Snow, can you make me a perception check, please?
Yes.
One thing you might not have heard, seeing my mic had gone and my keyboard had died, was that I said I was going to give a 10 gold to Snow that he said he wanted. And then
No, I said 1 gold. But
1 gold.
if you're going to give me 10, then fine.
I thought you said 10 gold, so there you got 10 gold. And I'm going to give half of the rest to Yorick.
Okay.
So that would be 52 each.
Okay.
Okay.
And 5 silver.
Right. Thank you.
So what was your perception check, please, Snow?
18.
18. There's that wandering Gus Tabaxi is watching you from the door and listening to your conversation.
Is there a reason that you're listening in?
Oh, that's Miette. She helped us find and
Yes,
protect
just
Gylus.
I'll join you on this journey.
Gylus could have been seriously injured if it wasn't for Miette's interference with the bandits.
Strange. Wonder what your angle is. Sure, we'll find out eventually. And you'll just give one of those sort of like really sly little smiles.
And Miette will tip her hat to him in response.
We'll deal with all of this in a little bit. Why don't we get this job started and then we can get on the road?
I'm
Right.
looking forward to it.
So who's going back into the room?
Florian would not. He would go outside of the trading post and wait for them.
Okay.
Yeah, lost outside.
Celeste is still observing, so.
So you're going to go in with them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So the
Would I
three of
know,
you.
would I know what this guy's actual name is, other than the fat
No,
man?
or
okay.
he's known as the Fat Man. That's it.
Okay, that's fine.
But like you suspected, nobody actually refers to him as the fat man to his face. I'm pretty sure you're pretty sure that he knows that's what everybody calls him. But
Yeah.
So come on in, shut the door. I see you have a proper trader with you now to speak.
Indeed. We want to discuss
Wise choice.
With our good friend here about your reputation and, well,
I think you'll
sounds
find
like
my reputation is completely
indeed, that's what my friend was just telling me here.
above
You're a
board.
well-respected man.
Indeed I am. So, and he lifts the box back up again, puts it on the table.
I'm thinking it's a mighty interesting job. We're certainly interested. My only concern is that 100 gold is a bit on the low side for this kind of job, especially seeing as we don't know what's in the box.
And
Overland
nor will you.
Overland delivery is rare. Very
It
rare.
is, yes.
That also.
This is clearly important. So 100 gold is a little bit low, don't you think?
Well,
especially since you want it delivered unopened, unmolested.
Indeed. So, what's your counter offer?
I'm suggesting that we maybe bump it up a little bit to about 150. Make the opening price around about, I don't know, about 50 gold. And we get paid 100 when we deliver it. That way, if we don't deliver it, you still ain't too much out of pocket. If we fail to deliver it properly, that is.
Deliver it. It will be delivered and it will be unmolested. I will not have my reputation tarnished.
Precisely. I can promise you that he will be keeping hold of that box for the entire journey.
And your name, young man?
You can call me Snow.
Snow, and he flips a notepad. Okay, right. Well, now we both have reputations. This is good. You're trading on your family reputation, I understand. So, let us dicker. So you're suggesting that I pay you 50 gold now and 100 when you get there. And I'm saying I will pay you 30 gold now and the original 80 when you get there.
110 ain't bad, but ain't quite high enough. I'm saying we go maybe 140 is a bit more your speed. We go 50 then 90.
Well, make a persuasion check with advantage because you have Snow helping you.
$25.
Okay, he rolled pretty low, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll give you 50 now and 80 when you get there.
130.
I'd say that sounds alright. That sound good to you, Snow?
Good enough.
Right, and he pulls out a sheet of parchment, and you can see him making some adjustments to the price, and then he signs the parchment, turns it round with his pen. So yeah, if you sign, one of you sign there, please, preferably Mr. Snow.
I'll pass the pen over to Snow.
And with the usual flourish, he will just sign as he would normally.
Perfect. And he takes one piece and puts another one down with the same signature. One copy each, as is the law.
Can I know he's been snacking almost all the way through the time that we've been here. Can I sort of pick up what kind of things he's eating?
They make a food check. Make a Milo check. What could you?
That would be survival, wouldn't it?
Yeah, make a survival check.
No, 8.
8. You have no idea. I mean, they're small. They're various different colours, and they're on sort of like what you would think is some sort of cake stand. It might be cakes, but it's not something you've seen before.
Okay.
But he sees you looking and pushes the tray. If you would care to taste, please help yourselves.
I'll just sort of look quizzically at Snow and Melissa. And then with Snow's gesture, I will take one and try it.
Okay, what colour are you taking?
What colours are there?
Every colour you can think of.
I will take a dark blue one, if there is one.
Blue one? Yeah, there's a sort of bluey purpley one that you could take.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's just little tiny, literally like pop straight in your mouth. And it tastes strange at first. It's sort of acidic, and then it dissolves into a sort of blueberry with sweet, sugary aftertaste.
Oh.
Delicious.
Oh, I've never tasted anything like that before. What are they?
These are my little cakes. My chef makes them for me. Lots of different flavours.
Do you enjoy sweet treats?
Well, and he sort of gestures to himself. A little too much, I think.
Oh, I just was curious. Thank you.
You're most welcome, my dear.
As always, a sense of humour.
You kind of have to in this life, don't you?
Of course, of course.
Indeed, indeed. So, here is the box, and he sort of pushes it across the table.
Snow will remove the otherwise fairly empty pack that he's got and plant the box in the middle.
The box is quite heavy. It's heavier than it should be for its size. Something inside this box is very heavy. It doesn't rattle or shake as you put it in. It says, remember, do not go on the water with it.
I think I understand why.
Very bad. But, and he pulls out a purse and counts out 40 gold for you. Sorry, 50 gold. I do apologise.
Yeah, so Snow would basically stare at him until he came to take the final 10.
My mistake.
Melissa, if you would go collect it.
Alright, I'll take it up and just kind of look through it myself. I won't count it, but...
Yeah, all appears to be above board and legit.
And we just clarify destination one more time.
The destination, you will talk to Eckermon the Silent. He'll be waiting in the Crimson Chain Inn in the eastern ward of the city of Giffield.
Crimson Chain in Giffield. Eastern Ward, you say?
That's correct.
Alright, I got that up there.
Oh, pleasure. Give my regards to Eckermon when you see him.
Glad to be doing business with him.
Pleasure was all mine.
I'll give him a sickly sweet smile as I make him fair.
When he leers back at you. So, as you exit the office, you
based on the as we leave, do I get the sense that sort of everything is actually above board with him and
make an insight check.
Okay, that's not bad. 20.
Yeah, seems like a genuine job. He seems exactly as you have heard his reputation.
So he's not overly sort of like nervous or anything like that.
No. He seems happy that the deal's gone through, and you can see as you sort of turn around, he's packing his things up, getting ready to leave the trading post.
So this
Now-
thing would be covered in a blanket inside the pack, and then disguised amongst the rest of the contents.
Okay, cool. Yep.
So did you make a deal?
Indeed, we got the first part of the payment here, and I'll pass out 5 gold to each person.
So we get to escort a box. I'll roll.
Indeed. Ain't no looking in it. Ain't no tampering with it. Otherwise, we'll get payment on the other end.
Doesn't bother
Anybody
me.
tampers with it, they'll taste my bloody daggers. We're trading on my bloody reputation.
So as you
I
are
would not want to damage that.
having this conversation, the door, one of the other doors in the trading post opens, and 3 tabaxi exit, looking determined. Snow, you recognise this look. These are people that have just sealed a deal. They look very happy, and as they pass, they sort of nod at you. And you can see other doors are open. Some of them are now open with people packing things up. And in one particular door, there is there are 2 tieflings, not the 2 tieflings that are still sat in their office, from a different office. There are 2 tieflings that look unremarkable, but they look out of place. They're dressed in fairly common tones, browns, greens. They look... The way they move suggests that they are hunters of some kind. Bounty hunters, maybe. Something like that. And just as the door shuts behind them, you can see a dwarf sitting at the table. Can I have Gus and Yorick make a perception check, please?
19.
19. Good.
You beat me. 11.
11. Okay, so let us grab. Gus, you recognise this dwarf.
Ooh.
It is one of the clerics that you saw doing stuff that you shouldn't have seen. He looked to be quite angry, and the 2 tieflings were smiling as they left.
Did he notice me or us? Me and Gus.
I mean,
Sorry, me and Yorick.
He didn't look like he did.
Okay, I think what you see is Gus' face go a little bit whiter, and then I just grab Yorick by the shoulder and sort of hustle him out the door.
What?
I'll follow them.
I think it's time we should go, don't you? We've got a job to do now. Come on, let's go.
Gus,
What?
calm down. What is wrong?
Nothing. But it's just time to go now. I'm fed up of standing here. It's stupid. Let's go.
Other people who may have noticed this would be Miet, Florian, perhaps. If you want to roll perception checks. And possibly Trenador as well, actually.
Snow will speak to Gus in what is the matter? Why are you trying to rush?
I just didn't like it in there. I think I just wanted to get out.
So, what did we get? Trenador?
20.
20, okay. Florian?
At the end of the spectrum, 6.
Miet?
Also a 6.
Okay. Trenador, as you look up to see your companions coming out of the one door, you see this other door close, and you see another dwarf. And you see Gus's reaction to this other dwarf. He definitely knows that other dwarf and is not very happy to see him.
More secrets?
And they've rushed out the front of the building.
Right, well, looks like our little friends are just excited to get on with this adventure. Let's get going.
I wouldn't call it adventure. We're going to walk with a box.
To start any good tale, Tradador. Come on.
Well, we
Smell
already
it.
know that there's bandits about. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll be able to smash your axe into something.
Now you're speaking my language.
Maybe not with that, but we'll see. Anyway, here's the first of the payment for y'all. I've given 5 gold to everybody, including myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give an additional 3 to Snow and 2 to myself for the 5 gold remainder.
Okay.
All right. Let's get this show on the road. If y'all are, I'll get it.
I'm not going to question that because I don't know whether that's right or wrong. Money means nothing to us.
We might want to fill Snow in before you decide if you want me to come along with you.
We'll do that on the road. Wherever I'm going, I want you to be with us, Sylvester. I don't want you being on your own.
Well,
I don't see you smiling, Tradador. Let's get moving.
I don't smile very often.
Well, you should.
What time of day is it now?
It's now sort of about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So as you head back northwards through the city is bustling, it's busy, there's people carrying stuff about, there's a lot of shouting. As you walk, you can see off to the west the docks where the boats come down from the mountains, and you make your way past various stalls and shops and trading centres, and you walk back up again to the slightly less populated northern district, because that's the best gate to go out of if you're going to walk to Giffield.
As we're walking along, I'd like to...
Do we assume?
Sorry, I didn't hear any of those. Right. Miss D, do you want to go first? No.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
There's a robot.
Yeah.
Robot cat.
Just asking because I've not done these kind of campaigns with you before. Do we assume provision?
You start with rations.
Yeah, I mean, you start with rations. If you want to stop off and get some more, that's entirely up to you. You don't have to. You can always hunt and gather as you go.
What we usually do is assume we've got very basic rations enough to survive on, but if you want anything nicer, you have to buy it.
Yeah.
Snow is fairly well provisioned because his family gave him stuff before he left.
Hang on.
2 secs. I have a bat in the house. I literally a bat is displayed in the window.
That's
Live D&D.
That's new.
That's new. That is definitely.
That-
I was hoping we could see the reflection in the window, but we can't.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
It's the other window.
I'll just be 2 seconds, by the way.
Okay. So, as you make your way through past the Claw and Hammer Inn.
What I was going to say was, as we're walking along, I would just sort of hang back a bit and sort of grab Yorick's arm and get him to hang back with me. And I want to whisper very quietly in his ear in Dwarvish. And say, you know, I told you what I saw back at Daggold.
Yeah.
The reason we left.
Yeah.
One of the people who was doing that was in that room.
Oh, that's why you.
Yeah, I mean, not only is he a bad person and doing what he's doing, But he's here, which means they know about here. And they've been lying to us.
We don't know what they know and what they don't know.
They were sitting in a bloody room talking to those horny people.
Well, maybe he was exploring too. We don't know.
He looked very angry.
You just think you saw something. You ran away, grabbed me, and now we're here.
Well, I didn't
We
want
don't
him
really
to
know
see
what's
us,
happening.
did I?
Maybe we should go and talk to him.
Oh no, no, I'm not talking to him. He was one of those nasty ones that was doing nasty stuff.
Make a deception check, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
As you're trying to have this conversation quietly.
21.
21. Okay, what's your
Did you
passive?
want me as well?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's. Oh, I rolled well then. That's an 18 for 16.
Nice. Okay, so Ash, what is your
Passive perception.
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay. And nobody else speaks Dwarfish. So we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, I think we should get out of here. Like, it's good we're going on this job, because if he's here, then it gave me the shivers. It did. It's not right.
Yeah, I know what you saw isn't good, but we've just run away from our old family. And, you know, everyone back in Daggold as well. They're good dwarves there.
I know. But we've got to question what we've been told, haven't we? Because, like, if he knows this place and he's trading with people down here, then something's wrong. Because, like, all the trade from home goes through the tabaxi, doesn't it, on the rivers, like Snow and his family. We know that. We've seen it. So what's he doing down here when they say there's nothing here?
Well, there obviously must have been something here. Otherwise, what would the tabaxi doing coming and going? They had to be coming to somewhere, didn't they?
I never thought of that. I thought maybe they were just talking to themselves.
Oh.
I thought there was just tabaxi and dwarves, and that was it. And dragons, of course. And bears.
And other tasty things.
And other tasty things, yeah. But I think we need to be very careful. Because if there are other dwarves around here, you know, they might not like the fact that we're here. And they might be happy.
But I don't think we're going to get any answers to what's going back home by heading further east.
Well, we're not going to get any answers by going back home either, are we? Because at home,
We will if we just run away.
oh, I don't know. I'm all confused now.
Well, me too. So
Gave me a bloody horrible fright, I'll tell you that much.
So let's just stick with it for now.
All right.
Okay. Yorick and Gus, make an insight check.
Okay.
After one.
Awesome.
Wait. Oh no, I've got a positive on that. So.
Oh, cool.
17 for 16.
17 for 16.
We're great, we dwarves.
You are fabulous. Perhaps it's not trade he's come here for. Perhaps it's certain dwarves that should have reported back into their unit by now. That thought suddenly strikes you, Gus.
I think I might go another shade paler and then shut up.
Fair enough. So, are we debatted now, Fiddy?
No, but I've done everything I think I can do to try and get it out of the house before tonight.
Awesome.
I feel like I've missed something.
Yeah, there's a bat in Fiddy's house.
that is being attacked by bats.
Yeah, Batman has
Shall we?
arrived.
So it's going to go one of two ways. That because I now have windows and doors open, lights dimmed, to try and get it out, it will either go out or
More will
I'll
come.
get more.
Like his family in.
That's the one good time to be bold, is when you've got a bat flying around your room.
I've heard they like bread.
Anyway, moving on from the bat issues, let's get back to the bat D&D. So, you walk north past the Claw and Hammer. If anybody's left anything in there, I'm not sure that you have. And you walk out towards the northern gate, as you did this morning. So, you walk out into the they're quite high, the hills that are sort of surrounding the town or the city of Clydewater. As you walk out the gate, you sort of there's a sort of dusty track almost that leads for about 500-600 yards due north and then just sort of disappears. There don't appear to be any tracks leading anywhere else.
Is it all? Are the bushes? Is the vegetation all clumped up, or is it still open?
It's fairly open. You see there was some the bushes that you saw guileless at along the city wall, and there's a few trees here and there, just small copses like 6-7 trees, a little bit of undergrowth, some herb bushes, all, basic undergrowth, but nothing particularly difficult terrain.
Cholador, maybe you should go up front just in case you need to cut anything down for us to get through.
Of course. Anything for you, Florian.
Yeah, thank you. See, now you're getting it. Being nice to people, ain't it great?
I'll just barge past him, probably give him a bit of a shoulder knock as I go to the front.
Yeah, Grumpy Bear has decided it's the Night Lord that's come to visit you, Fiddy.
You're in trouble.
So, yes.
Is it that you want to be going through the underbrush, or would you rather take the tracks that are already known?
I mean, do you know this? Do you know this way?
I am not the tabaxi to travel by water.
Well, that would be even better if we know exactly where we're going and how to get there.
I, granted, usually do this with a caravan, but it won't be that much different going by Paul.
I have travelled with some of your folk. They're quaint.
Yes, I expect it would seem that way to outsiders.
Okay. So, you're putting Miette in charge of the directions, yes?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Seems like a good idea
Just
to me.
watch, slow collapse in a twitching fish,
Okay. So, Snow, you seem a little nonplussed as this wandering gust is suddenly taking charge of the direction.
He's suspicious and he's
Okay, so, Miette, can you make me a... let's see. Let's have... Normally it would be a... give me a history check with advantage.
sugar.
16.
16. Yeah, you remember there's a trail that's, if you go about half a mile northeast, you'll pick up a trail that is known well to wandering gusts, and you can follow that most of the way to Giffield, and you think it'll probably take you about 5 days on foot, or paw, sorry. By paw, it's about 5 days, depending on the weather and other factors, but Yeah, there's no hurry. Let's just do it. So you start walking. Mia strides out northeast. The rest of you follow.
Inside. As we're travelling, I'll kind of step up to walk alongside Snow. And, well, I suppose I should fill you in on everything that's happened whilst you were out sending that there Ruby.
You'll see Snow pull the scarf up in between his ears, and there's sort of like a little headband that runs around the top, and he'll just secure it around the sides. So it's covering, pulled forward far enough to cover his face in shadow, but it's just his ears sticking out.
Nice.
Nice look. Real prudent. But yeah, we woke up that morning to find Gallus missing. His ma'am said that he'd gone out herb hunting. We went out the city and found him being attacked by some bandits. Unfortunately, a couple of them got killed before we could get the stand down, but I convinced the head bandit to go rethink his life choices somewhere. But I'm pretty sure Gallus wouldn't have been alive for yet being there. I know you don't trust you, but
I just want to know what her angle is.
don't strike me as a calm, but we'll see.
Call me cynical, but I will reserve judgment for now.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm surprised you're trusting me as much, considering I'm from Dar. So trust me. You can trust me.
I prefer to let people show their colors by action, and then we'll see the true measure of this party of people.
Well,
group, whatever you want to call it.
I can promise you that me and Florian will be showing our everlasting love for everything around us.
Oh,
so I'll hold them on. But what I should say is when we was back in Flying Hammer, there was this frightful thundering noise, and then a dead body crashed into one of the tables. No damage to the roof. Ain't nothing. It was an elf. I had more of those strange, clawless coins that Celeste had. Mighty strange. She recognized him.
They're gold the same as we would know, but they're just not stamped by treading waters.
Mighty strange to me. I don't think I've ever seen a coin like that.
Well, maybe we can get them stamped and we'll see.
But Celeste did recognize his figure somewhat. We're keeping it on the down low, just informed. And we're worried that she might be being hunted by people that ain't the nicest.
And you'll see a smile come across his face, showing these huge.
Huge.
Automatically censored by Discord.
Yep.
Discord did not want to know what Snow had huge eyes.
Anybody that would like to try and get close enough is going to get their throat ripped out.
Precisely. I already told her that me and Florian will be watching out for her.
She's enough.
Precisely.
But she's been hunted. Maybe there's more to the story than we know.
Well, we'll just have to find out. Can't know someone without spending time with them.
This is very true.
So, you walk for a good couple of hours. You get to...
After a while, Snow would slip off to the side and sort of cloak in whatever shadow there is. Just loping along next to the group, if there is any.
Sure, yeah, I mean, there's some trees, and it's getting more densely wooded as you go further northeast. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's possible. You come to... Yeah, it leads you to a track, which then goes both east and west, and strides confidently to the east. And as she does, as you go along this track, the woods sort of creep in. It's more heavily wooded here than it is back near the city. And the afternoon sun is finding it difficult to penetrate through the trees. So yeah, there's plenty of shadow around where you are.
We definitely know it's east, right? We definitely know that she is.
Make a survival check.
16.
16, yeah. I mean, travelling along by the position of the sun in the sky, you know you were going northeast. And then when you moved just before the woods enclosed the path, you can see, yeah, you're now heading directly east. So yeah,
Okay.
seems that way.
Melissa,
Yes, Celeste, honey.
did you talk to Snow?
I informed him. He finds you innocent enough, so he'll be sure to help us out.
Are you all very sure? I really don't want to bring I don't want to bring anything negative upon you all. You all seem so very nice to me.
Trust me, honey. I can say without a doubt, me and Florian are interested in keeping you safe. I've been in that situation before, and I know it's rough. So, you can trust on me and him. Snow seems a good trusted character, and he's interested in keeping you and both them dwarves together. If we travel as a group, we'll keep all of us safe, no matter what comes after us. All right?
I'm very grateful to have found such kind and caring people.
Consider you help. Real lucky you ran into me and Florian. I'll boop her on the nose and smile.
Florian
Way
will have
too
to
creepy.
take a smile.
Yeah, Grumpy Bears. Are Melissa and Florian a couple?
No.
No. So there you go. So as you travel on and on to the east, and the sun disappears down, and it starts to get dark, what would you like to do? Do you want to carry on travelling through the dark, or do you want to find somewhere to camp for the evening?
Snow would emerge from the shadow, just back into the middle of the group. Perhaps we find somewhere to rest.
That sounds like a mighty good plan.
I have already tapped my limited reserves of magic for today.
And we all know how reliable that is.
Not well adored.
I assume the healing I gave you worked well enough.
I'll just turn away and carry on walking.
Beautiful.
Take that as a yes.
Now, yeah, as you know these pathways along here, I don't suppose you know of somewhere safer to camp for the night?
What can I roll for that? I presume I would know somewhere to rest.
Yeah. Do a quick history check. Again, with advantage, you know these trails pretty well.
17.
17. Yeah. You know that there's a hidden campsite about 20 minutes further on. You have to go off through the trees because it's not signposted or obvious in any way, but you know it's there. So, about sort of 15 minutes on, Miette suddenly deviates from the path.
Where are we going?
I'm presuming no one is automatically following me.
Just kind of
You're leading.
So fast, I've only got little legs.
There is a campsite just through here, but you need to follow me off the path.
Very well.
all right.
About another 5-10 minutes. Going gets pretty uneven, and then it smooths out again and opens out into what appears to be a very well set up, well hidden campsite. You can see there's a pit in the middle for a fire, which can be banked, so it's hidden from the road. There are some large tree trunk type logs that have been carved into seats. It all looks really rather comfortable.
Oh, this is nice. Go on, Yorick, let's go get some wood and we can make this fire up.
Right.
Okay, mate. I'll say you can gather plenty of wood to get the fire going. Not a problem.
And the most important question, did Miette find materials to replace her flute with on this walk?
Make a survival check.
12.
12. Yeah. I'll say you could get enough bits and pieces along the walk. Once you got into the more densely wooded area, you find some bits of bark and some small sticks, and you've got some glue in your pack. You could probably bodge up the flute and make it workable.
Right, I'm going to sit down and do just that.
Okay, that's cool. So roll a performance check for me on that one.
17.
17. Yep, not a problem. You've done this sort of work before, so you've been taught countless times how to repair instruments for very little, with very little materials and very little time. But you've got plenty of time while everybody collects firewood and gets the fire going. And
is there a particular tree that would give me a good vantage point of the camp?
Yeah, you could climb one of the trees. Give me a quick acrobatics check. But yeah, you get your flute in perfect working order. You play a few notes. Yeah, sounds great. You're happy with that?
26.
26. Yeah, not a problem. Straight up one of the trees gives you a nice overview down into the camp, and also a little bit of the trail that you came along. You can see back along that as well. So it all looks good as people are sort of sitting down and eating, and the fire is going. It's all pretty good. And what we'll do is we'll have a little bit of a break so we can all get a drink, and we'll come back very shortly.
Cool.
that dice, and I'm going to get rid of that one.
Okay, so welcome back. As our heroes bed down for the night, are you keeping a watch, or are you...
Before we bed down for the night, there's no way in
Okay.
hell I'm letting this party rest without setting up a watch.
Fair enough.
Because there are bad things in the darkness.
There are indeed bad things in the dark.
I only require 4 hours of meditation. I don't technically sleep, so I'm more than happy to stay up and keep watch for the rest of it.
Well, me and Yorick can help, can't we, Yorick?
So we have a couple on each watch. How many watches do you recommend? Yeah.
I'd say Ford.
Are you still up a tree?
There's no
No, I scouted where the best tree was and then came back down.
Oh, okay, cool. So, first watch.
Me and Yorick.
Okay.
That's
Yorick and Gus. Second watch.
I'll
I
go.
would take the last one.
So, second watch is
Snow.
Snow
I'll stay up as well.
and Florian. Okay. Third watch.
I'll go on the third watch.
Okay,
I'll
Celeste
go with Celeste.
and... Who are you?
Melissa.
Melissa, that's right, sorry. I mean, come on, there are 8 of you. And fourth watch will be Miette.
I can do for fourth as well.
Well, I can do, yeah, I'm the same. I've got trance, so I can do third and fourth.
Okay, and Celeste
Show off.
and Trelador. Okay, so Yorick and Gus, you are quite well used to camping out. You have equipment, you have tents, not a problem. Yet you are used to sleeping out, but obviously you don't have huge amounts of equipment with you. The rest of you have bedrolls, etc. So you make camp, settle down, unless there's anything anybody wants to do before the first watch.
I must point out that the tents would be single-man dwarven sized, like combat tents,
Okay.
not shareable, really,
Okay.
unless you're dwarf sized or small.
Around the fire, Snow would pull the small hand crossbow that he's got, and using his Tinker's tools, he'd start to etch the starts of a similar pattern to what is on the forebow of
Right.
his crossbow.
Okay. That's cool. All right. So you managed to get all of your little jobs done, and do your things, and everybody starts to get some sleep, apart from Yorick and Gus, who I would like perception checks from, please.
Right. Oh, that's a really good one. 3.
Excellent. Well done.
a little bit better. 6. But
6.
it was an actual 1, so.
Okay.
And in a shocking turn of events, they get murdered in their sleep on the Dwarf's Watch and not by me yet.
So you got a 1, I got a 2.
Yeah. It's going really well. This is weird. Normally you're camping out, you're in the mountains. There is scrub and some trees there, but nothing like this. This is woods. This is dense wooded area. It's not something you're used to. It's very weird. There are lots of noises that you don't recognise. And there's a bunch of strange people that are just making various sounds as they sleep. It's all very odd.
Well, Celeste is sitting up quite dignified, sort of eyes closed, hands on her eyes. Just sort of meditating.
Oh no, I got it. Mozzie.
Snow's back in the tree.
Okay, you're sleeping in the tree, are you? Okay.
Yorick.
Yeah.
It's all a bit weird out here, isn't it?
I know.
Feels very claustrophobic. All these big trees and stuff. It's not. Doesn't feel right. You know, I like it when I sit on the mountains and you can see forever. It seems, doesn't it?
No,
But
I miss the mountains.
I'm sorry I got you into this. I know I panicked a bit when we were back at home, and I do appreciate that you've come to look after me, because I know sometimes I don't make good decisions. Well, I think they're good, but nobody else seems to. But if you really want to go home, when we've done this, we'll go home. All right?
Because we're closer than brothers, aren't we? So I was going to say the other. If you want to stay, then I'm with you.
Oh, well, that's confused things, isn't it? All right, well, tell you what, let's make a pact then. Let's keep going until we've had enough.
I wonder if we'll see any more dwarves. If there are any other dwarves out there?
Well, that's what I want to know as well, because I saw that one, but I didn't like recognizing him because he was one of the horrible ones. And he scares me a bit. I never thought I'd feel that from another dwarf.
No.
Like we're all family, aren't we?
Yeah.
I got awful, gave me the willies, it did. And I had a thought as well. I didn't want to say it when we were back there, but what if he was trying to hire someone to find us or something?
Oh.
So maybe we're being hunted.
Yeah, maybe.
But then that makes me ask, how did he know to come down to the town to speak to people to hire them to find us if he didn't know all about this place and what was here and been lying to us all this time? Lying to everybody.
Well, I'm sure some people speak to the tabaxi.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the tabaxi though, am I?
No, I know, but when the tabaxi go to Daghold, right, people must speak to them and they must find out, the nearest settlements and things.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. But then
So
why didn't they tell us?
Well, I don't know. Did we need to know?
I don't suppose, I never asked because it never really crossed my mind.
We just do our jobs, don't we?
Yeah.
We just do
And
our thing.
when you say that, you might notice Gus do a side look at his backpack and then quickly look back at you.
I noticed that. Oh, natural 20. I did notice
You
that.
noticed that, yeah.
It's a good time to waste a natural 20. What? Gus, what's in the bag?
Nothing.
No, come on. I saw you look at it.
Well, I might not have told you everything.
We've never had secrets, have we? Come on.
I know, but well, when we were out doing our job, and then I found something, and I'll drag my backpack open and just kink open the top, and inside you'll see a rather large egg that's like looks like dried lava.
No, you didn't.
Well, see, I went to hand it in like we're meant to, And that's when I went down into the citadel, and that's when I saw what they were doing. And I couldn't give it in because then they'd have tortured it and killed it. And like, it speaks to, well, it doesn't speak to me, but I can feel it. There's a little thing in there, and it needs me. That's why I didn't want to go back, because they'd kill it. I know that's my job. I know, but I can't anymore.
So he'll kill us all.
No, he won't. He's my friend.
You don't know.
Well, it feels warm. You know, it's like he doesn't say anything or anything, but it's like I know he needs me.
You shouldn't have that.
I know, but what else can I do? His mother was dead. We just killed him. Her.
Exactly. Why do we kill them? It's because they'll kill us if we don't.
Well, that's what we were told, but we know that's not quite the truth now, isn't it?
Oh, you say what you saw.
Okay, I know that's not quite the truth, but I know it. I know it deep in my bones. I saw what I saw. But I know deep inside me, just as much as I know you're my bestest, that this little thing here needs me. And I can't let it go. I can't give it to him to chop up and whatever.
Getting crazier all the time.
I'm sorry. I should have told you I know, but you would have made me give it back, wouldn't you?
Yes.
That's why I couldn't tell you, you see. But they don't know I've got it. At least I don't think they know I've got it, because I didn't tell no one.
Well, maybe they do know you've got it, and that's why that guy was coming to get us.
Oh, maybe.
Ryan's going to come get us.
That's not a good thought, is it?
What if all of them are contained within our mountains, right? And it's our job to keep them, keep their populations low, because they'll break out and start killing everyone.
Oh,
Now you brought one up.
I didn't think of that. I'm not going to sleep tonight now.
Or maybe we should just have it for breakfast and be done with it.
Oh, you've got such a funny sense of humour.
I know. Well, should we tell the others that we've got it?
Oh, no way.
I don't think so.
No, they don't need to know, do they? They don't know what it'll be. They'll all be scared and stuff.
They don't know about the dwarves, really, apart from Snow. But do they know about these?
I don't know. No one said anything, so maybe they don't. But I don't even know if it's going to hatch, do I? It might just be just an egg. Might need its mummy to hatch, and its mummy's no more. So it might just be a pretty stone now, but I do feel something coming from it. Here, put your hand on it, see if you can feel it.
All right.
It's very hot. It's almost too hot to put your hand on.
It's like I could do some smelting with that.
Which is odd, because when you put your hand on it, Gus, it's warm. It's not hot, it's just warm.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, it's just nice and cosy.
Don't put your hands on it. It's really hot.
No, look. I'll put my hand on it. Nice and cosy, comfortable temperature, that is. Keeps my back warm when I'm walking.
We should really keep an eye on that.
Well, don't worry. I won't let anyone touch it. If they do, I'll cut their bloody hands off and call them Stumpy.
Can you have have an inspiration point for that, please, James, because that was brilliant. Oh dear. So,
Oh, right. Anyway, I think it's about time we woke someone else up, don't you?
Yeah, who's on next?
Can't remember.
Don't know either.
Well, you're the brains.
Did I write that down?
You must write everything down.
No, I don't know if I wrote that bit down. Well, let's just go and.
Let's wake Snow up. He'll know. Where is Snow anyway?
you look around, you can't see Snow anywhere.
Oh, he's gone off somewhere. Maybe he's gone to
then-
the toilet.
Listening very carefully, you could just hear a very gentle purring coming from up above your head.
Oh, bloody hell, he's up there.
You can just see like legs,
Proper
and
leopard
arms.
style.
Yeah, proper leopard style
get
on the tree.
I'll go and find a branch that will reach and just poke him gently. Snow, who's on next watch?
Oh, it's Wake Florian.
All right.
Tell him I'm up here.
Okay. Let's go wake up Flowery.
All right. Florian.
Well,
Your watch.
I've literally been listening to that for so long. I literally wanted to go into West Country accent there. Maricana to wake me up. Thank you.
Snow's up in the tree. He's watching as well.
Thank you. Anything to report or?
No,
Just quiet?
all quiet. We banked up the fire as well, so it should be nice and warm.
So,
Good night.
The entire party could have been surrounded and, just people waiting to slaughter us outside the Tree of Circs at the moment. And we were all listening so intently to that conversation, which none of us could understand because it was in Dwarvish, that, everyone's oblivious.
okay, so as Yorick and Gus crawl into their tents, Snow and Florian, some perception checks, please.
Bit better than the previous one. 16.
16, nice.
And mine's 15.
15, also good. So, Snow, your first night off the boat and in a wood. There's no water nearby. It's very strange. Some interesting noises happening. You watch as the two dwarves pile into their tents and start snoring. You see Florian wandering about down below. You look back along the trail, which is very difficult to see now because it's very dark. And you don't see anything out of the ordinary as far as you know. There are some small animals a bit further on down that you can hear, but nothing to worry about.
He's got his short bow drawn with an arrow already knocked, but he's also got 2 end to end across the actual main body of the bow.
Okay.
Force of habit.
Yeah. Sorry, I should know better than to read the chat because Grumpy Bear's on total form tonight. There's apparently continual farting from Celeste, which that's now canon. Florian, you having been told that Snow is above you in the trees, it takes a while to spot him, but you can just see him sitting in the shadow, watching very carefully, bow at the ready. And again, you can hear the noises of the woods at night. There's an owl somewhere, but there's nothing really to worry you. Yes, Grumpy Bear, you can have an inspiration point. As Celeste farts in the night.
No, she's much too ladylike.
You're asleep.
I'm not sleeping. I'm trancing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
we can
well
all
known
hear
that
the
yoga
trancing.
people always fart. So This is now canon. Elves, when they're now in trance, fart. This is the law. It's my world. I can say what I like.
I'm not from this world. I'm from the other one.
That's my world
due
too.
is that due to dietary requirements?
Yeah. So anyway, the night seems fairly quiet apart from the farting. And is there anything you wish to do?
I would have probably, being on the ground, I've just done a quick sweep of the perimeter of the opening,
Okay.
just to make sure that nothing has snuck up or no one or anything like that, basically.
You do your quick sweep. You can't see anybody or anything. Everything seems fairly quiet.
And then with that and with it being quite peaceful, I would actually probably just do a few sort of like sit-ups and push-ups and that,
Okay.
and kind of do what I didn't do this morning because we rushed off.
Okay.
And yeah, and then just sit there, just kind of looking over everybody, thinking, friends, people, love.
Okay. So you sit, and the night continues on. Nothing much happens. Your watch passes. You can wake up the two elves and Melissa.
Yep. So I will go and wake up Melissa first.
Thank you, darling. I'll be up in just a moment.
And then after that, I'll go to Celeste.
Oh, I guess it's my time.
Time for watch, Celeste. Yeah, thank you. And then I'll go up to Trellador a little bit, not sheepishly, but cautiously, and just use my quarterstaff to seeing of how angry and stuff he has been.
Yeah, he does have quite a lot of axes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Trellador, it's your watch.
Very well.
Okay, so
Does that take you back to Milo and getting your face bitten off?
No, not at all. Didn't even think about that.
Well, I can't forget it. It was brilliant.
So Trellador, Melissa, Celeste, as Snow and Florian go back to their rests. Perception checks, please.
Snow would stay awake for about half an hour into the next watch, just keeping and watch.
Sure.
19.
19.
Dirty 20.
20.
17.
17. Ah, some good rolls. So, Melissa, you cast about, you see Snow still awake, and you're on watch with the two elves. You listen very carefully to the forest, the woodland sounds. Everything appears to be normal. Celeste, Trellador, your hearing goes a little further than Melissa's, and you can hear just at the edge of your hearing, you can hear two whispered voices. You can't hear what they're saying, but they are speaking in common, and you just catch the occasional word of dwarf and fetch them back.
I will say very quietly in Elven. Can you hear that?
Of course I hear it.
One quietly. No, I'm not hearing what you're saying. And I'll kind of listen more intently now that Celeste has brought it to my attention.
And if they point it out, you can hear just on the really very edge of your hearing, you can just hear footsteps. that appear to be on the track that you were on earlier today, before you left to come off to this campsite.
Well, we can't have that, can we?
Yet found us in a good spot. We might not be seen.
I think we should go and find out what they want.
Snow, you can hear the three of them talking, but they can hear voices. Make a quick perception check for me.
21.
21.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, 20.
20. You can just hear them as well. Just hear the footsteps now. They've stopped talking. You can hear the footsteps. They seem to be going away from camp along that trail.
He's already got the arrow back to full extension, just ready.
I assume I might have noticed this as I noted that
Yeah,
he was to the right.
all three of you know that Snow is up there with the arrow ready.
I'll sort of shrug it as Snow, as it say, should we go?
No more. They're backyard.
As you listen more carefully, you can't hear the footsteps or the voices anymore.
And slowly sort of let the arrow go.
They can't stop. They can't keep travelling indefinitely. We'll probably come across them again, either in the morning or later on down our travels.
Did you hear what they were speaking about?
They were speaking in common, and I think they mentioned our two smaller friends here.
I would slip down quietly and almost
Make a stealth check for me.
Ooh, that's not bad. 18.
18, yeah. Not a problem. Suddenly, Snow appears beside you.
Made my heart flutter. Sorry, did you hear everything that was going on?
Yes. And if they wish to take the dwarves, they're gonna get an arrow through the eye.
Not just yours.
Certainly be interesting. Try and keep them folk away. So rarely ever see dwarves at these lands, so who knows what might be happening.
They may try again, but I would probably say that somebody watch with the dwarves, and if there's going to be 3 on these watches, one of you at all times watch over them.
Perhaps myself and Trellador, since we require less time, should split ourselves equally.
But 2 of you can be patrolling, the other one can watch them. I will not allow this. They are traveling there, exploring.
They're innocent.
You don't know.
You get your rest your sleep, Snow. We'll keep watch for the last little bit, and I'll wait for the last one.
Go back up the tree. And he also don't just melt into the darkness and back up the tree again.
Okay.
That is concerning, I must say.
So, the rest of your watch passes anxiously, but you don't hear any further noises. And Melissa, you can wake Miette.
Yep. I'll wait for you. Your watch, darling. Almost there as the sound matters. No, go and take my place. And sleep.
Okay.
Get the rest of my beach sleep.
So, Miette and our 2 lovely elves, if you would roll perception checks for me.
Celeste's a bit preoccupied as a natural one.
Natural 1. Okay, great. Trelador.
So 6.
22.
22. Miet?
7.
7. Okay. So Celeste, you hear nothing. Everything's, as far as you're concerned, back to normal. Yet, you're a little concerned. It's dark. Traditionally, the things come in the dark. You've not smelt anything or heard anything of them yet, but you're pretty certain that they're out there somewhere. Trelador. Listening very carefully and moving around the campsite, you catch the vaguest whiff of that arcane, strange burning smell. Just sort of whiffs past your nose and you try and smell it and it's gone. But you could have sworn there was something there. You could smell that. You know when that happened today in the inn? That smell again, really very briefly, but it's gone.
I'll look over to Celeste and just make sure she's not doing anything odd.
She doesn't appear to be. She's sort of
Just
looking
like-
around, but
I'll just give her like a stare, an uncomfortably long stare.
yeah, you sort of sitting thinking about all sorts of things, Celeste, and you come to and your Trelador's just sort of staring at you.
She'll just give him a faint smile and a slight nod and then just go back to looking around.
I won't return it.
Okay. So the watch passes. The sky starts to brighten as the sun comes up, and you can all have a long rest.
Hey, huzzah! We didn't get murdered in our sleep.
You didn't. It was close, but you didn't.
We live to see another day.
Indeed you do. So, with the morning and breakfast rations, you all awaken. It's a fresh day. The sun is shining above the canopy. What would you like to do?
As we'll be on breakfast, you'll see Yorick with his arm before he puts his armor back on, just sort of just casting something, and then he slips it back on.
Okay.
Do I get an idea of what kind of spell he might have cast?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
19. What school of magic was that then?
Abjuration, I guess it would be.
Yeah, some sort of abjuration spell.
Fair enough.
Once I've woken up and have packed my camping stuff away, I will then sit down, hold my symbol for a moment, eyes closed, and then pop out my mirror and touch up my makeup.
Fair enough.
How was everybody else's watches? Sorry, Debbie, go on.
I just want to say, now that it's light enough, I'm going to go to one of the trees at the entrance to the campsite, search for any messages that may have been left, and leave my own in case any of you are to actually come by.
Okay. Ooh, hello. Make an investigation check. This is, you're looking for thieves' cannon stuff, yeah? Sure. Okay. Make it with advantage.
Yes. Wenty.
20. Yeah, there is a message encoded here. I will send it to you. It's very hastily written, but it is there. The rest of you see Miet doing something with one of the trees, running her fingers across it. If anybody's watching or paying attention.
Probably.
Nope.
I
Florian
would
is just
spend
gonna.
the first sort of hour or so just watching people's morning routines, trying to get a sense of who these people are.
Okay, fair enough. Make a quick insight check.
Okie dokie. That's okay. 17.
17. Everybody's kind of doing their morning thing. It's, it's nothing you haven't seen before, except for Miet. She's very definitely looking for something. On or in the tree, one of the trees near the entrance to the campsite. But yeah, Florian's bouncing about doing exercises and generally being one of those chirpy early morning people. Melissa's doing her makeup. You've seen this before. Everybody else is sort of generally stretching and packing away their gear.
So it'd swing down silently and just sort of emerge.
Okay.
You've got to stop doing that there, Snow. Catch me off guard every time.
I do like to make an entrance.
That I can agree with.
How was everybody else's watches last night? Ours was pretty uneventful.
We heard voices
Indeed,
and
there
footsteps.
was some folks walking past, being rather sneaky, making sure people can't hear them. I didn't catch what they said, but the others did.
They spoke of looking for dwarves.
Looking for what?
Oh.
Looking for dwarves and wanting to bring them back.
See, Gus, there's other dwarves out here that people are looking for.
So
Well, that's all right then.
in Dwarvish, he'll look directly at Gus and say, "So, anything you want to tell me about why you wanted us to leave so fast?"
No,
Well,
we were just excited to go.
No, there's nothing.
Well, on the off chance that it is you twos that they was talking about, we keep you nice and close with us. Should be fine.
We'll
I'm not
just
sure
tell
I'm-
them that we don't want to go back, and they'll leave. Maybe.
I'm sure.
I hope that's true.
So do I.
Not, they're gonna get an arrow in the eye.
We seem to be collecting a lot of people
Well-
with targets on their back.
So the way they can be sometimes, Trelador. You just got to show them some love, make sure they're okay.
And maybe Trelador, these you can put those prodigious bodyguarding skills to use. Show us why you should have a reputation as a bodyguard, eh?
I would like to know what they are running from. They haven't been completely honest, have they, Celeste?
None of your business as a
dwarves.
bodyguard. Your contract would, if you were to be contracted, you would not care. You would.
I told
It
you.
pays to have an advantage. if I know
Snow's
what's
got a
coming.
wicked disarming grin on his face.
I haven't hidden anything specifically, just things that I've already told you everything you need to know.
Oh, so just dead bodies appear out there all the time around you then?
I don't know why they're appearing dead. I appeared through one of the same portals, but obviously what happened to them did not happen to me.
Magic.
But at the same time, if we are going to protect you, then a little more information when you're ready would be useful. So we know what
Take your
to look for.
time.
And I'm
Don't feel
pushing for
pressured.
it. If
Can I just say that I don't necessarily want people to go and kill other people on our behalf.
Yorick, we're not going to kill them. We're not going to seek them out to kill them. But if they attack us or if they come into our camp with the poor intentions during the night, like they attempted last night, it is going to end badly for them.
certainly only interested in fighting those that are being cruel to others. And if they's wanting to steal you away from where you want to be, then that being cruel, I'm not stopping.
I mean, I'm not the first one who wants to come to violence, but I am willing to protect myself and people I care about.
Well, I mean, money seems a lot to people around here, so maybe we could just pay them and they'll go away.
The contracts are binding, and people have reputations to uphold. If they've been
Maybe we
given the
can just-
contract, they will follow it.
Maybe we just beat him up and tie him to a tree or something.
We could do that. We like it
Yes.
to beat them up, don't we?
That is also an option, but we should be fine with it. Extra watchfulness of an evening would be the best course for now.
Yes, be extra vigilant.
And
Perhaps place you in the middle of the group when we travel.
I'd just like to say as well, Miette found us this place, which she knew about, which was pretty safe. Maybe a bit of trust can be slung her way. She's quite new to the group.
Well, I tend to distrust her.
Neither do I. She's been nothing but helpful as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's going to take Snow some time to come to trust Miette, and it'll be up to Miette to prove herself to him.
You'll, I think, need to forgive Master Softpaw. He's struggling against a lifetime of prejudice, and the fact he's civil at all to me is doing well for him.
I'm civil to everybody until they show their true colors.
Well, we ain't interested in having any fights today, so let's get back on the road and keep traveling and chatting.
From my time travelling with the Wandering Gus, would I know what Miette's doing in the morning?
Make a history check.
Can I look around where I thought I heard the voices and footsteps and see if I can find some footprints?
Sure, make an investigation check. So, what did you get?
7.
7. You have no idea. You've seen people do this before, but you've no idea what it's all about.
Fair enough.
11.
11. Doesn't appear to be anything of any trace of people on the track when you come out of the camp and get back on the trail. There doesn't appear to be any trace of them.
Okay.
And you can notice there are no traces of you lot from yesterday either. Miette picked up the path very carefully. So, you carry on. Do we have a marching order at all? Who's up front?
Yeah, it's going to have to be fairly up front since she knows the direction.
Okay, so
I think Florian nominated me to go up front.
okay, so Miette and Trelador.
I'll probably be just behind them if Melissa's going to be around there.
Okay.
I will be flitting about all up and down the group because I am idly chatting with everybody.
Fair enough.
Quite
I was expecting that sentence to add as because I'm a hussy.
Snow will be using his stealth and will periodically emerge from one side, head into the other one, and just keep zigzagging across the path.
Okay.
Mostly on me.
Celeste will want to make sure that the doors are in front of her because she's worried about them now.
So Celeste at the back, dwarves in the middle.
We're being mothered.
There we go.
Snow is basically circling the group at this point.
We get that enough from our mothers.
I know.
Okay. So, as you walk on through the woods, you can see that as you get more used to following Miette, you can see it's not a straightforward trail. It moves. It sort of curves one way, then curves back the other way. And you look back and it's very difficult to see a trail that you've been on. And it's really quite clever because you swear that you must have left footprints somewhere, but you can't see any. But you're obviously walking in just the right way, just the following what Miette is doing, where she's leading you, to leave almost no trace of your passing whatsoever. So you walk on for a few hours, and the trees start to sort of thin back on one side to your right. They sort of just move back, and there's more of an open feel now, as Miette sort of takes you first out into this open space and curves back round towards the trees. And you can... Miette, can you and Trelador give me a perception check, and Snow as well, please?
And one thing I would add is, as Snow emerges each time, you'd see he's got two of those small daggers he showed you before, but they've got loops on the end. So he sort of eventually, he'll just flick them round, but he'll have one in each palm, blade down.
Okay.
14.
14?
14 as well.
14?
19.
19. Okay. Heading on one of these loops that's curving, when it's curving back towards the trees, Snow, you see something in the distance in one of the open stretches that you're sort of curving away from. Just as you come round the outside of the group, you can just catch it out the corner of your eye. Looks to be something wooden over in the distance.
The door's there. Sorry.
I thought he was role playing, looking around there.
Yeah, I know.
Really getting into the roleplay there.
Oh, I wasn't muted. Sorry.
No, you weren't.
So it's something, you said something wooden. In the
Something
distance. Is there
wooden.
any,
It just looks out of place here. Sort of sharp corner.
any form to it that I possibly
You
recognise?
might have to get a bit closer before you can see what it is, but it certainly caught your attention as to being, it shouldn't be here.
He will emerge out next to Miette. Any idea what that is?
Yeah, as he points at it, you can see the corner of what looks to be one of the caravans just wrecked and fallen over on its side.
How far away?
It's probably going to be about 80 feet or so, maybe a little bit further. You didn't notice at first because the grass here is quite high, but Snow, as I said, was circling round outside of your group, so he was closer to it, and then he came back to tell you he'd seen something.
So yeah, Matt's pretty much going to bolt directly for it.
Okay, as you say that, Snow, Miette, straight towards it.
He will follow and keep pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do the same.
Okay.
What's going on? Quick, let's go.
I don't know. You seem to be hustling.
You'll see him flick both daggers up and just be ready.
Okay, Miette, as you get there, there is indeed a caravan. The ground sort of slopes away from the path you were taking, and you can see a caravan on its side. Boxes and clothing scattered down the hillside. You can see, if you look down, there's another caravan further down on its roof, and there is just debris everywhere looking down this hill.
So I'm searching for, in order, survivors, that arcane smell, and any marks any survivors may have left.
Okay, so make a quick perception check for me to start with.
As she does the snow would be circling out.
Okay.
Just daggers out, ready.
What did you roll?
Only a 13.
A 13.
She's perfect.
Okay, this looks really familiar. It's the same arrangement. The caravans are broken. Everything's been gone through. There are no survivors, and that smell is here. but apart from that, you get nothing.
Is there any way for me to identify whose caravan this is?
Yes, this would be. Let's have a look. This would be a Corvan family caravan. You haven't seen the Corvans for quite a while. They weren't at the last gathering. They were at the one before, but they weren't at this one. And people remarked on it, but it's not that unusual. Some families come every other one, some come everyone. So nobody was that concerned, but obviously this is concerning.
Do you know what happened here?
What's going on? What's happened here?
Does it look as though this has just happened, or has it
It
happened?
looks like they're attacking. Do you want to answer James first?
Sorry, say again, Debbie.
Sorry, saying, do you want to answer James first, or did I just freeze there or something?
You did just freeze. I didn't hear what you said, so.
Sorry. It looks like the caravan was attacked by the same things that attacked my family.
Things? What kind of things were you attacked by?
I don't trust wandering ghosts, but the wholesale slaughter of our people is not something I take lightly. And you'd hear sort of a deep, throaty growl start to build in snow.
So
What happened to your family? Yet?
Gus, to answer your question, it doesn't look like it's happened recently, maybe a few days ago, perhaps. But there are no signs of any survivors. There are no bodies. There's no blood. It's very odd. Sorry, Miss D, I interrupted you.
I was trying to remember my train of thought. It's traumatizing, okay? I mean,
I know.
twice in 1 month, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
What happened to your family, Miette?
I had left them for a few hours to do my own things, and when I came back, the caravan was like this. Everyone just gone, and something tried to attack me.
Something? You saying you encountered the beasts that have done this before?
I don't know what they are. To stop and look at them would have cost me my life.
Any description you can give might be helpful. I ain't fully trained,
Can
but
you-
I've got some knowledge about some nasty stuff.
Can you sense the magic in the air here?
I'll kind of sniff.
Make a quick perception check.
Yes, last night.
They were at the campsite last night.
No, I smelt something.
20.
Yeah, you take a good deep breath. That's that same smell that was in the inn when that elf fell out of the sky.
Yeah, it's that smell we smelt when that fella just appeared and down in the air.
That is their signature. That is how you know they have been.
Thinking on that and kind of what Miette's been giving, can I get any kind of sense on what kind of creatures these might be? And specifically whether they are potentially heartless creatures.
Is there any damage or discernible damage from claw or anything like that to the wagons?
Okay, Melissa, you roll me a nature check. Snow, give me an investigation check.
Ooh, investigate. I'm good at this. Oh yeah, that's not bad. 23.
23, nice.
16.
16. You rack your brains. There's not really that. It smells like magic. It smells. It doesn't smell natural. It doesn't seem like this is a natural beast or something. This smells strange. It's not something you've come across before. The investigation, Snow, as you sort of turn things over gently to see if there's any claw marks or anything, you don't see any. It's, apart from the falling damage, there doesn't appear to be any bestial marks on it or anything. There's no bite marks, there's no claw marks. Whatever did this was probably not bestial in nature.
I wonder.
What do you wonder?
This wasn't a beast.
Ain't no regular beast that did this. Some kind of magic, some kind of creature. I ain't sure on what kind, but pretty sure it's not this.
This smell that is around is the same one that appeared in the inn when the body came through.
Yeah,
And it's the same one that was around me when I first got here. So it might not be that the smell is from the creatures, but from whatever brought them here.
It's not a beast. There are no claw marks. There's no discernible damage apart from the falling damage. Whatever this is, it's not bestial.
Do any creatures you know of sound like this, Celeste?
Do they sound like anything that I'm familiar with?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh no, that's 5 for 10.
Nope. Doesn't sound like anything you've heard of.
Nothing springs to mind at the moment, but if something should, then I will let you know.
Oh, definitely. Best keep our eyes out. Seems like there's lots of news about you on these roads.
While everyone else is discussing that, I'm going to wander to the two caravans again, do a cursory search for anything that might be useful for Tabaxi, and I'm going to presume, screw it, I know the back door, I'm going to make sure the doors of both caravans are open, and on the lintel of each door I'm going to scratch a prayer for the lost.
Okay, cool. Make an investigation check. See if there's anything interesting in the caravans.
8.
8. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly useful. There's, like I say, clothing, personal possessions, trinkets, a couple of books, but nothing that
Books,
catches
you
your
say?
eye. Yeah, just ledgers of towns visited and places people dealt with. You know, the normal sort of travelling fare you would get. Whoever is leading the caravan would take notes of where they've been, where they got good audiences, that sort of stuff. So there's a ledger there of that, but
Just making sure it's not storybooks.
no, unfortunately not. No, with an 8, no storybooks. Lovely.
Yeah, you see.
You see the landing strip lights.
Yep. No, so sorry. Yeah, you can quite easily scratch those in the prayer for the lost. That's fine.
So do these look as though they fell from the sky?
No. It looks as though they've been overturned.
All
When I
right.
say falling damage, they've tumbled down the hill slightly, one further than the other. Oh, he's going to punch it now. Look.
Going monk on it.
Not sure you're allowed to punch bats.
No, it's illegal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, getting back to the D&D.
We
You
should
do know
move
we're
on.
not getting
Nothing more to be done here.
we're not getting paid to investigate this, you know.
That we might not, but we need to make sure these paths are safe for us. Knowing if there's
Unless it's
anything
required.
nasty out there.
Tell us a bit more as well, Cholador. You said you smelled it last night on your watch?
Well, I smelt that magic-y smell that we smelt at the inn. It was just fleeting. I just assumed it came from her when I pointed to Celeste.
Did it seem like it kind of trailed across the campsite or anything, or just past your nose?
It was a smell. I didn't think much of it, Florian.
Was it at the same time as those people went past on the road?
Around that time, yes.
Maybe it was them that smelt.
Maybe it was Gus.
Celeste is going to try and discreetly smell herself.
Okay. Roll a perception check, I guess.
The self-perception check.
Yeah.
23.
23. So you sort of like... You don't smell of that arcane, that strange smell.
But I remember smelling
You
it when I
remember
first
smelling it when
arrived.
you first arrived, but... And then again in the inn, and now again.
I can't help but think that this is all linked together somehow.
Might
Just,
be. Never can know.
no, definitely not. But just a quick question, Celeste. And again, if it's too pushy, you don't have to answer straight away. But do you remember how you got here? What happened?
I was trying to get away from somebody who did not want to let me go. I found someone willing to make that happen and ended up here.
Don't remember anything beforehand of spells being cast for you to be able to do that? Or it just literally snap of your fingers and you came here?
Well, I came through a teleportation circle. But I wasn't expecting to land in this place. I thought I'd end up somewhere else in the world, in my own world.
Well, as your entry opened up a gateway to other places, and if this person who is hunting you has opened more, they may have allowed something else in.
Well, this happened to your family several days ago, did you say, Miette?
A little over a week.
I only arrived yesterday.
Yes, but if people have been using these spells to open doorways, then a door opens from both sides.
I do not know for sure, but all I can say is that these things were happening before I went through my portal.
Indeed. But we still can't rule out that it may be somewhat similar magic.
Oh no, I have no doubt that the magic is very similar.
There's always problems when you're trying to jump about across the world. Jump between places that may not be the same. Never know what might come through.
Sorry, Jay.
But that's it.
Being a reader and keen on knowledge, Chaz, and everything, is there anything what I've read about teleportation circles or teleportation in any way gone wrong? Or
It's a very good question. Let's have a look. Roll me a... Give me a straight intelligence check.
That's quite good. 14.
14. You do recall reading in one of the temple libraries that teleportation magics are, or can be, very fickle if you don't know what you're doing. Or sometimes even if you do know what you're doing, if it crosses in and gets interfered with by another magical spell, all sorts of weird and wonderful things can happen. For instance, there was a tale that you read that a mage tried to teleport across use a teleport spell, but unfortunately put it on top of another teleport spell and ended up in a completely different dimension than when he started.
Intentional.
Allegedly intentional, but that's a story you've heard.
So I'll go back to the and be like, I'm just trying to rack my brain here, just to what I've read and what might be going on in any form of teleportation circle. Whether you know what you're doing or don't know can be quite fickle. So there's always room for something to go wrong. But generally, it's if something is interfered with it. So potentially from whoever you were trying to escape from, this is where my mind's going. Stick with me here. They knew that was happening, and something's just gone terribly wrong, Celeste.
It could be that they found the place I went through the circle and tried to use their own magic to get themselves through, and it went wrong, is what happened with Duravale.
You can say, but we can certainly find out. If we run into these creatures, you let us know, yet. I'm sure we'll be able to take them. There's plenty of us. And I know a thing or two about taking out things that shouldn't be here. Part of my training.
Well, if there's any kind of big nasty beastie, then Gus and I are out. We're monster hunters.
All right. That sounds fascinating. Tell you what, why don't you tell me some stories about that and we get back on the road?
And that's where we'll leave it for this evening.
Would caution you though to...
So hold that thought. We'll come back to that. I'd like you all to go to level 2, please.
Oh,
I didn't even get to ask tonight.
I know. I'm so
You
eager.
beat it to it.
So we'll go round.
I've made it to level 2 without ever being in combat.
I know, you're amazing.
No,
So
you just weren't there for it.
Okay, so let's
know.
go round the table and we'll roll our hit dice. So Celeste, we'll start with you.
Oh, I'm just pre-rolling my dice before I pick my dice to roll.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Roll mine.
Florian.
Yep, okay, so dice has been rolled. True me fashion, 2.
2.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect
Gus.
from them.
6.
6. Nice. Melissa.
I'm going to use my deep red and black one. See what we get. 7.
7. Lovely. Miet. No, she's frozen again.
This is a new procedure for me. You're going to have to
Okay.
talk me through what I'm doing.
So, when you level up, you roll your hit dice, whichever your hit dice is. As a rogue, it is a D8. So you roll that. Tell me what you get.
Oh, shit.
5.
5. Nice.
Nice.
So that's when you add, when you go to your character sheet and you edit your character to go to level 2. In the hit points part, you add that 5 into the rolled. So you change your rolled total and update, and it should update your hit points. If it doesn't, give me a shout. We'll sort it out.
Oh, dear.
So,
Okay, I think I have it.
cool.
I'm a good ranger. I've just realised that rangers. I've just got spells at second level, and rangers use wisdom for their spell modifier,
Oops.
and I have a -1 to wisdom.
Gonna go well.
So my spells is -1,
Awesome.
but
So,
it's 9.
Snow, what did you roll?
Whoops.
7.
7. Lovely. Trelador.
1.
Reroll,
You got a
please.
one?
Reroll.
12.
12.
Nice.
Superb. Sublime to ridiculous. Lovely. And last of all, Yorick, please.
I rolled a 1 and then I rolled 7.
7. Lovely.
Nice.
So we go back to Celeste.
4.
4. That's not too bad. It's not
Right.
bad.
4 and a D6 is not bad.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
No, it's
Yeah.
D8.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Could
I
be
still
worse.
say that next campaign we need to have a rule where if I roll a 2, which is generally always for HP,
No.
that
You
roll
get to re-roll the 2.
No, we re-roll 1s, but not 2s. If you get
Just
a 2,
makes
it's
it easy.
better than a 1.
Yeah. Just makes it more hilarious that if you do dumb shit and die,
More likely that he'll die.
Or just get somebody else to roll it for you, Fiddy.
There is always that. We'll get Grumpy Bear to roll it for you next time. I'm sure she'd be totally up for that. Okay, so thank you all very much for playing. I hope you found it entertaining this evening. We will, of course, be back on Sunday for the next episode of Helloran Rising. I think it's getting quite interesting. Other things, we will be streaming this week on Thursday. We will be leveling our WoW raid team, so please pop along for that. That's very silly. We go and do dungeons and silly fishing games, so it'll be a giggle. But yeah, please check out Role Playing Gamers this Friday. I don't know if they're doing anything. Their schedule's a bit at the moment.
we are informed if anything this Friday.
If there isn't anything on Friday, then please check out Ant Chapman, who does a Friday evening music making stream, which is brilliant. I urge you all to follow that. If Role Playing Gamers are not doing anything, please go and see him. The link is on our Twitch page. Please go check him out. He's fantastic, and he's really entertaining as well. Friday evening, get a couple of beers in you, watch that. It's great. And apart from that, we hope you all have a wonderful time, and we will see you all on Sunday.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye bye for now.